Last time, we showed you what goes into feeding our cattle. Today, we're showing you how technology helps us get those rations exactly right. Welcome back to the kitchen.
Each one of these panels is going to be communicating with a different motor, because when we tell the computer we're feeding the milk cows or the beef cattle grazing, then automatically our nutritionist's diet is going to come into that computer, and then all the different motors and the different augers are going to turn on for 10 seconds, 20 seconds, whatever it takes in order to get that many pounds of that ingredient into each one. As soon as the loader operator taps his button, it's going to come on and everything's going to start feeding into that leg, which will eventually go into the mixer.
Our 3 experienced nutritionists build each ration around exactly what our cattle need at every stage of life.
This is the scale that's talking to, so there's 4 scale heads here, which are taking each ingredient, and those scale heads are going to tell us when that ingredient has enough. And so then it'll automatically shut off the motor, which is then going to determine how much goes into that diet. When we go outside, you'll see where we hand feed, or we actually loader feed by 4,000 pounds at a time. But when we're feeding these little tiny minerals, these little tiny inclusion rates into each diet, we need to do it by like the 1/10 of a pound, because each of these ingredients is probably worth $1,000 a ton, or some of them $4,000 a ton. And so, one, we can feed the cattle better if we feed them exactly what the doctor tells us to feed them. But 2, if we feed them a half a pound too much, well, that adds up in a day, and pretty soon we're $1,000 in the hole on shrink because we put in an extra scoop of potassium carbonate at $1,000 a ton. That'll also affect the cows because, again, it's the doctor's orders. We have 3 nutritionists who are going to tell us exactly how much of each ingredient the cow needs.
Technology helps us turn that plan into precise portions, measuring every ingredient, reducing waste, and making the most of the nutrition we're feeding. It's all about consistency, efficiency, and ultimately better care for our animals.
The closer we get to that, the better it is for the cow's optimum genetics. The farther we get from that, whether it's too low or too high, it's too much for the cow, which is we're wasting money, or it's not enough for the cow and she's not going to reach her optimum genetics. Associate this with humans, but honestly, there is no association, because it's ridiculous that we take a daily vitamin. One for men, there's one for women, there's a prenatal, there's a children. We blow that out of the water. For our genetics, for our herd, for the breed, for the age, we are way more dialed in than the majority of human consumption when it comes to the micro minerals that we need and are using in our daily lives.